Don't Wish Me a Happy New Year by Barrie Mahoney. I'm always uneasy about the Happy New Year greetings that we belt out to anyone that we meet, either on social media or in person. Whenever I hear these words, I've got a mental vision of a grinning Ken Dodd manically waving his tickling stick while singing that rather troubling song, Happiness. In reality, of course, we're not meant to be happy all the time. We need the bad times to help us to appreciate the good times. I'm far happier with the greeting of a healthy new year than just focusing on the happy part. But I know that I'm once again in danger of overthinking the issue. Well, it all comes back to great Aunt Sylvie, an elderly no-nonsense lady who passed several years ago. Aunt Sylvie was not the cheeriest of people, and would always respond to our New Year greeting with disdain. "I never wish anyone a Happy New Year," she would snap back. And I once cheekily responded with, "So you want us to have a miserable New Year then?" a comment that she rightly ignored. On another occasion, I asked her why she said this, and for once she gave me an answer that helped me to understand a little more. Aunt Sylvie was always one to accept a free meal if one was offered. Her home was conveniently surrounded by several chapels and churches of different faiths. Aunt Sylvie would make it her business to find out which ones were offering a decent cooked meal on Sundays, high days and holidays, and particularly at Christmas. Aunt Sylvie was a woman of principle, and out of common decency would ensure that she attended at least one service before the intended meal. After all, she couldn't be seen as a freeloader, could she? It was at one of these services that the young minister loudly proclaimed the evils of wishing everyone a Happy New Year from the pulpit. Now, it sounded rather like the kind of sermon found in various books intended for new vicars. Ready-made sermons that newly qualified ministers could grab just before the Sunday morning service. The words Happy New Year were a nonsense, unrealistic and dangerous in raising false hopes. In essence, it was meaningless twaddle, according to the young minister. Far better to wish someone a healthy New Year and... Well, Aunt Sylvie couldn't remember the rest of the sermon and the reasoning behind it, but it certainly made a big impression upon her, and one that she didn't contradict for once. You see, she had an unfortunate reputation for making loud mumblings and groans, and indeed grunts, from her pew if she disagreed with a sermon, which is often the case, according to many who knew her. Indeed, Aunt Sylvie was so impressed with this sermon, and no doubt the meal that followed, that she continued to attend this particular chapel for several weeks afterwards. That is, until a better offering for a Sunday lunch came along. Our great Aunt Sylvie passed long ago, but her words have remained with me, and I always reflect upon them at this time of the year. Although I disagreed wholeheartedly with her at the time, I now realize that the young minister was probably right, and that Aunt Sylvie did have a point, although I've never heard the full explanation. As a result, I have a conflicting view of Happy New Year. Whilst living in Spain and the Canary Islands, anyone that we happen to meet, particularly when taking our dogs out for a walk, whether we knew them or not, would always wish us Feliz Año Nuevo. Sadly, in Devon, most people simply look the other way or ignore us, unless we know them. This is yet another of the many cultural changes that we are trying to adjust to. So however you spend it, we wish you all a healthy, happy and successful New Year, and that you all continue to travel hopefully throughout your lives. So sorry, Aunt Sylvie. I've been listening to Don't Wish Me a Happy New Year by Barrie Mahoney. And you can find out more about me, my blogs, podcasts and books by going to my website, which is www.barriemahoney.com, and that's Barrie with an IE. And thank you for listening.